Yeah, let's go. It's just something about dating. That's it. Like just something about. Bro, just looking at this alone, I'm already tired. But let's go.
I've never cleaned a home quite like this one before. It's overrun with flies, mice, maggots and rats, and the whole floor is coated in rubbish. Everything's sticky due to years of spilled energy drinks, and the only clear surface in this entire flat is this sofa. It's where the resident sleeps on nights when it's too cold for him to sleep in his car.
Where the residents sleep at night when it's too cold for him to sleep in his car. Did I just hear when it's too? Yeah, it will always be him. It will always be him. I know it will always be him. It will always be him. I know I'm that dirty, bro. I am that dirty. It's always him.
Now, before you assume he doesn't have a bedroom, he does. It's actually the biggest room in this tiny flat, but he hasn't been able to access it for over a year. The door is blocked by rubbish and collapsed boxes, so instead his two options are his sticky sofa or his car. When we first started talking, he told me the worst part of his day is when he finishes work.
But I'm sorry for always pausing it though. How do you have the art to actually call someone for this? If I have something like this, bro, I'm not calling nobody for it. I'm burning it all down. I'm burning it down. Because how do you have the art to actually call someone for this?
Because when he finishes work, he has to go home. And his home is little more than shelter from the cold at this point. The mice have chewed through the washing machine wires, so he can't wash his clothes. There are no clear worktops, so he can't prepare a proper meal. The bath is covered in thick black sludge, so washing himself isn't exactly pleasant. The resident's in a very cruel cycle. He's working to afford a space that makes him miserable. And when your home stops being a safe place to rest, eat, and take care of yourself...
of course it's gonna be... Of course, it's not gonna be a safe place. How is it gonna be a safe place? How is it gonna? That's not even treason. How is it gonna be a safe place? That's some messed up place to be.
Chips away at you bit by bit. If you've been here before, you'll already know that I only clean for people in need, and I only clean for free. Every time you interact with one of my videos, you are directly funding the next free clean. So if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel so we can keep doing this.
So
right, pop your shoes on, we're going to Glasgow because we are starting this free clean.
But secondly though, another thing though, yo, wait. Why is it that you only see white people doing these things, bro? I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying, but bro, doing this for free, bro. How would you do this? Why would you want to go through all of this for free? Why? Why? It's risky. You are going to get sick. Yeah, let's go.
It is very small. We have signs of mice. We've got a lot of strong smells, and there is a lot of flies and a lot of rubbish.
But I'm going to focus on one thing at a time, and considering I can barely stand up straight in this place, the mice can wait. As you can see, there are thousands of energy drink cans everywhere, and not the empty kind. Most of these still had liquid inside them, so every time I took a step, I was either standing on a can, crushing one, or knocking one over and adding another layer of sticky mystery juice to the floor. At this point, I couldn't properly see the carpet yet, but I don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to know that rodents aside, the carpet is probably going to be one of the biggest battles of this entire clean. And then of course there's the sofa. Now, as I mentioned before, the resident's been sleeping on this sofa for years because his bedroom is so heavily hoarded that the door doesn't open anymore. And when he told me he'd been sleeping in his car most nights, it really put into perspective just how much living in that environment had been impacting him. Not just physically, but mentally too. For anyone watching watching who doesn't know anything about Scotland, it's a beautiful country and the people are golden, but oh my gosh, Scottish winters are brutal. Trust me when I say, the one thing you definitely don't want to do in Scotland is be sleeping outside in a car in the middle of winter. And the fact that this man's two options were self-induced hypothermia or mice-infested sticky sofa speaks volumes on the headspace he was in. And I will be talking in detail about the resident because I believe if you're aware of the context, you can understand the headspace. And if you understand the headspace, you can understand how and why these situations happen. Speaking of context, at this point we've managed to clear a path to the kitchen and I could start finally separating the clothes from the rubbish on the floor. Clothes go in one bag to be washed at a later date and the rubbish in here was going to go into our skip until I spotted some little black pebbles of doom, aka mice poop. That was my first uh-oh moment. The second uh-oh moment came not long after. You'll notice in the kitchen that there's a wine rack next to the oven. All of the lower shelves were packed with shredded cardboard and paper, which are classic mice nesting materials. This not only confirmed that mice were very much thriving in this flat, it also confirmed that my waste removal cost for this free clean just got bumped up by another few hundred quid. Because if you didn't know, mice poop is super toxic. Now, the chance of hantavirus is small in the UK, but heavily infested homes like this one do still carry a significant risk that I'm not prepared to ignore. Plus, the presence of rodent killer that we found earlier means it's highly likely we're going to stumble across a few dead mice and rats. So specialist biohazard waste removal was booked just to be on the safe side.
Bro, look up here. Look at the what do you call it, disaster up here, bro. Look at the disaster up here. There's a Pepsi can. I don't even know what this is, bro. I don't even know what this is. Then look at this. How did you get, like the thing is, you keep on adding to it. You keep on adding to it. You keep on adding to it. When you was adding, didn't you see that there was something else there? Like, yeah.
And whilst we're talking about being on the safe side, I feel like now's a good time to introduce our sponsor. You might know Wild from their refillable deodorants, but they've just brought out something new, and honestly, it's a game changer for my free cleans. This is Wild's new refillable roll-on antiperspirant. It gives you 72 hours of sweat and odor control. And I know some of you will be thinking, what's the difference between a deodorant and an antiperspirant? Basically, a deodorant helps stop odor, whereas an antiperspirant reduces odor and controls sweating too. I still use my Wild deodorant stick on chill days where I just want simple, everyday, normal protection. But when it's hot, or when I'm going to the gym, or when I'm on a free deep clean and I am sweating, I need something a little bit stronger. And that's when I reach for the roll-on antiperspirant. I've got 20% off for you. You can either scan the QR code up here or type B2026 at checkout for 20% off. Thank you so much to Wild for sponsoring this video. And now let's get back to the free clean. Okay, now we are repeating the exact same process in the living room. If you can't tell, I'm actually stood on top of the resident's old mattress. This mattress...
Bro, that's a mattress. Bro, that's a mattress.
Did have an active mice nest inside it, so everything had to go. Now, mice aren't stupid. They're very resourceful, very intelligent, and they have a great memory. The first day when Harry and I arrived and just started moving in this flat, we immediately heard them scatter. You could literally hear the rubbish rustle as they ran across it straight into the walls. And I'm mentioning this because we saw and found a lot of mice nests across this property, but they were all empty because the mice had scattered when they'd heard us coming. But between us, besties, I have done so many...
Your bestie and you are both messed up in the head, for real. You both are messed up. You both are messed up in the head. You both are if I have a bestie, bro, they are doing it for free. That's what's pissing me off. They are doing this thing for free. It's all free. That's... Good.
Free cleans where there have been mice present at the property. But when properties are well built, they tend to be quite well contained. This flat sits inside a huge old manor house that's been basically chopped up into as many flats as possible in the cheapest possible way. Think Drywall partitions, hollow interior walls,
Bro,
gaps
look
in
at
the
the
exterior, poor
ground.
maintenance over the years, all of that kind of thing.
Look
It's
at the
obvious that
ground.
this was once a very beautiful home. But the reality is now it's basically a glorified mouse motorway. Because the internal walls are so hollow and cheaply constructed, the
Okay.
mice have been able to chew straight through them. And as a result,
Damn.
the mice have now built nests inside the actual structure
Damn.
of the entire building. Meaning they can most likely access every single flat
Bro,
in the
this-
building
this-
and move between each unit easily.
Wow.
Because they have full run of the
Wow.
building, getting rid of them
That's just
is going to be
wow.
very difficult. But we'll chat more
Bro,
about that later
burn the
on.
house-
Because for right
burn
now,
it
I am
down,
highly
burn the
conscious that
building.
I've literally told
Burn
you
down the
absolutely
building,
nothing
bro.
about the
Oh my
resident who
God,
lives here.
bro.
So I'm going to do that now. As many of you know, before
Yeah.
any free clean
Yeah, there's nothing I want to know more about the actual person that lived there. There's nothing I want to know more about the actual, because I want to know how you're able to live in a place like this, or how you're able to get to this extent. You better have a good reason. You better have a good reason.
begins, I spend months talking to the resident. I need to know what's sentimental in their home, what might be
Okay.
dangerous,
Look at
and
this-
what we
bro,
might
look at this
uncover.
plate,
This
look at this
includes
plate,
knowing
bro.
about needles, medication, pests, or any possible biohazards, because I simply can't risk my health or Harry's health while we're helping someone else.
Yeah,
When I asked
yeah.
the res
Bruv, your life is already in danger at this point. What are you talking about? You can't risk your health. You're in danger. Do you think you are not at risk like this? Do you think something could come out from that place? This is why we don't. This is why I'm so proud of myself, because I can't do something like this. Yeah. Just burn down the house. Yeah, that's it. Leave it, bro. Or sell the house, sell it, and make them do just do something else apart from cleaning it, because that's it.
resident what mattered to him, his
sorry for
answer was
pausing it, but,
heartbreaking. He said to me that almost
Wow.
everything in his flat could go. The only thing he wanted to keep were his clothes, his shoes, and his parents' wedding album.
Bro,
that was it.
shut
That
up,
was
bro.
the sum
How can they even find
of
the
what
clothes
he
in here,
felt
man?
was
They can't
valuable
find
in his life. I'm gonna
Is this a sink? Bro, this is a literal sink, bro. Does the water still flow? Bro, does the water flow? Does the water flow? This is a sink. It's black. Bro, you could plant something in here and it will grow, I promise you. Bro, plant a seed in this sink and it will grow. It will grow. It will grow because...
share a snippet of what he wrote to me when he applied for a free clean. Dear B, I've suffered with
Okay, yeah, this is another thing that pissed me off, yeah? You have a place like this and you decide to apply for a free clean. Are you serious? You applied for a free clean. I thought he was willing to pay. He applied for a free...
severe depression and financial
I'm sorry for
difficulty for
pausing it,
many
sir.
years. I'm
sorry for
now
pausing
in
the
the
video.
progress of getting on the other side of this, but my last main obstacle is my house. Due to depression, I've not cared about how I live. And now, my home is at a point that I don't know what to do. I mainly
Yeah.
sleep in my car or on my sofa. It's uncomfortable,
Yeah.
but I haven't been able to access my bedroom for the last year. I'm too ashamed to ask anyone I know for help, as I feel they would disown me.
Yeah,
Like a lot
burn
of
it
people that I
down,
help
bro.
through these free
Burn
cleans.
it
No
down, bro.
one in this resident's life knew that he was struggling. Every
Burn
step
it
of his
down, bro.
recovery so far, he'd done alone. He suffered alone, he asked for help alone, he started healing alone. All he needed was help clearing that last obstacle. And that
Then you
last
kept on
obstacle was
adding to
obviously,
it, man.
the condition of his flat. Sometimes the
house,
difference between staying
obviously.
stuck in the situation that you're in and finally being able to move forward is simply just getting access to help.
Bruh,
And for a
bruh,
lot of
the
people,
fun- the
that
funny
help
fact is- fun fact
completely
is-
unaffordable, which is why offering these free cleans to people that need them means so
Okay.
much to me. When I
Yeah.
first contacted the
Yeah.
resident,
Wait, shut up. Fun fact is, I've actually seen these things in the movies, like a lot of times, but I didn't know that people actually live like this in real life. Like, people actually do this in real life. They actually do this on a daily, like, bro.
he was so shocked that I'd even read his application, let alone reply. He truly did not believe he was worthy of help. at all. So the fact that he even filled out that application form and got over that first hurdle of feeling like he wasn't worth a better life shows just how far he'd already come. Speaking of progression, I initially thought we were going to have to take this bedroom door off of the hinges. But once we'd removed that mouse-infested mattress from the living room, it wasn't long until we were able to pry the door open 1 inch at a time.
We're in the bedroom.
Actually, let me take my mask off.
No, please, no, don't take that mask. No matter what you do, don't. Please, woman, please put it on. Put it back on. You are going to get messed up real quick. You are going to get messed up. There are some crazy ass. Yeah,
there was a 2-seater sofa which was blocking the doorway, so it was very difficult for us to actually see what was in the room. I reckon we could get this room completely cleared within the next hour, Harry. Watching that footage back, knowing what I now know, makes me want to scream at myself. Nothing that looks straightforward ever is, and this bedroom was no exception. Trust me when I say it was the most stressful and frustrating room to clean ever. Straight off the bat, it had a very funky smell to it. Like I said before, the resident had been unable to access this room for a year, so there was rotten food in here, but there was no moisture left in it. In my experience, no moisture usually means no smell, but oh girl, there was smell in this room. I was like 99.9% sure that funky smell I was smelling was a dead rat or a dead mouse. And looking back at these clips now, it's almost funny because at the time I was completely hyper-focused on trying to track down exactly where that smell was coming from. It wasn't until I moved to the right side of the bed that I started noticing more and more maggots in the carpet and more flies on the wall. But yeah, spoiler alert, we did eventually find our deceased little friend. So if you're squeamish, now might be the time to look away. At this point, finding our very stiff friend was not a big deal because we'd already booked biohazard waste removal. So getting rid of it, fine. Easy, plain sailing. I was, admittedly, focusing a lot on our deceased friend that I was not paying attention to the bed at all. It's as if the free cleaning gods wanted to throw another spanner into the works. The moment I pulled back the bedsheet and saw these stains underneath, my heart literally dropped. Because those dark specks that you can see on the screen are not dirt, guys. They are bed bug droppings. I usually flat out refuse to clean homes where bed bugs are present. And I know some of you are thinking, B, they're probably dead because the resident hasn't been sleeping in that room for over a year. Bed bugs are able to survive up to 400 days without food, so I'm not taking any chances. Everything is being sprayed down with bed bug killer, and once I'm certain there's no survivors, the mattress, bed base, and anything else that's contaminated is heading off to be incinerated.
Yeah, of course. Burn it down, bro.
Okay, so the time is now 7:15 in the evening. We've been here for coming up to 11 hours now. You may be thinking, God, B, you are a machine. Why are you still here after 11 hours? The rubbish people were meant to take the rubbish before 4. They're running very, very late, and obviously we can't leave until the rubbish is gone. Otherwise, it looks like we're fly tipping, which we're not doing.
Welcome to my trash pile. All the trash you can want.
So yeah, we're still here. But on the plus side, we've made such good progress. Can't believe how much we've got done. And then we're gonna go home and maybe have a tea.
Yeah, she actually did really good.
I've also got to edit.
She actually did really good
for Friday.
Did really
it's
good,
Wednesday
bro.
Today, so
did absolutely good for good.
Deadlines.
Hi MTV, welcome to my temporary crib. They've given us washing boards, but jokes on them.
I can't believe she's able to enter inside. Okay, no. I thought she was able to enter. I thought okay. My bad. Yeah.
It's gonna be Harry's new home. They've got a pooper.
Oh my god, bro. That was a lot to take in. That was
You
too
need
much.
that. No one's always
That was too much for real.
Anyway, after 11 hours cleaning, we called it a day, unpacked our
That was too
Airbnb,
much.
had a KFC, and got an early night.
Okay,
Day 2 was
let's
the
see what
day that
happened.
the real cleaning began. And oh boy, was it long overdue. Fun fact, this clean was located in a very rural village in Scotland, so every time Harry or I needed to go to the toilet on day 1, we had to walk
Yeah.
into the next village that had a small cafe, use their bathroom, and then walk obviously all the way back. As you can
Bro, I
imagine,
can't look at- I
that
can't
took
watch this
time that
anymore.
we
I
simply
can't
do not
watch this
have.
anymore, bro.
So getting this
can't
bathroom
watch this
sorted,
anymore,
or
bro.
at
Look at
least
it,
to the
bro.
point where we could use the toilet when we needed to, was a top
Okay.
priority. And I just quickly want to
Okay.
clarify for anyone thinking, oh, just put some tissue paper down and then go to the toilet that way. The reason I didn't do that is because at this point in the clean, the property is still so contaminated that removing my
Okay.
hazmat suit inside would have put my health at risk. So yeah,
Yeah,
long story cut short, we're clearing this
of
bathroom
course.
so we can clean
I
it, so we
tapped-
can
I
use the
tapped it
toilet.
to
I'm
the
also
dog.
hyper aware that some of you might be thinking, wait a sec, B, I thought this clean was happening in Glasgow. Why are you mentioning little rural villages in Scotland? Just like
Bro,
I
it
never
doesn't matter
use my
where
clients.
It doesn't matter where it's happening now. It doesn't matter where it's happening. The fact that you're even inside here doing this thing, you are a rare breed for it.
Its real name. I also never disclosed their actual location. Yes,
Yeah.
this was a rural village in Scotland,
Yeah.
not too far
I don't
away
know what
from
you guys
Glasgow,
find
but
interesting
don't get it
doing this
twisted.
type of
It was
things.
not in
I
Glasgow.
honestly-
If I'm
I
ever
honestly don't
revealing
know
a
what you guys
location,
find.
it's usually just because that's the largest nearby city.
What's
Now,
that?
although this bathroom looked rough, it was actually one of the easiest spaces to sort out in this home. Everything that was
really?
previously on the floor was either
Really?
clothes or rubbish. The
Wow,
clothes were bagged
I'm
up to
so
be washed
surprised.
later, and the rubbish was added to the skip.
So if you wash the clothes later, who is going to put them on? Is he putting them back on? Hell no, bro.
Pile for day 2. Most of the toiletries
Nah.
in the bathroom were empty bottles because the resident had
Okay.
already taken his essentials with him. One of the questions
Okay.
I get asked the most is actually what happens to the residents during the free cleans, which is a totally valid question considering 99.99% of the time it is not
Yeah.
safe for them to be in the home whilst the clean is taking place, just simply due to all of the strong products that we need to use in order to
Bro, it wasn't safe for them to be in the house in the first place. So what difference does it make if they're in it when you're cleaning it? It wasn't safe for them to be in it in the first place. I bet those people could survive. They can survive anything. If they can survive in this kind of space, they can survive anything in this life. Bring any apocalypse, zombie apocalypse, gas, anything, they will survive it. Anything. The world should end right now. Those people will be there. This type of people will be there. The ones surviving. Because, bro, what do you mean that they
properly sanitize the
whatever.
place. And just quickly, what you're seeing right here is the initial cleaning. It's just where we get off the top layers of grease and dirt. This is not the sanitization stage. Back to speaking about accommodation. With this particular resident, having him stay with his family and friends wasn't an option. Obviously, him continuing to sleep in his car was also not an option. And he wasn't able to get any time off work whilst this clean was taking place. So he needed to stay somewhere that was within a commutable distance. With all this in mind, the most sensible option was for me to find a hotel that was close by to his place of work. Ideally, one that had food included within the room price, so he also didn't have to worry about, buying extra meals and extra.
Wait. My question is, so you got a free clean in this type of space, and you also got a free hotel and free food. I think I should start messing up my place too, bro. Don't worry. New business idea.
Food whilst he was away from home. That way, he had somewhere safe, clean, and comfortable to rest whilst the clean took place. It's something that I don't speak about too much, but a large majority of the people that I clean for are put up in hotels whilst the clean takes place. It's all paid for from the money that I make through posting these videos. So when you watch these videos, you are contributing to the next free clean.
Really? Really?
I fear that now is an important time to mention. Please do not be concerned about
the fact that she even have the bro. If I was doing something like this, I wouldn't be able to drink anything. I wouldn't be able to remove my mask. I won't be able to touch anything. I won't be able to eat anything. I won't be able to see anything. I won't be able to breathe anything. I won't be able to leave anything, bro. Because you are not supposed to be doing this.
So yeah.
This is not something.
let me live, and zero sugar.
This is not something
After my quick break, I went back in to finish off doing the initial clean on the bathroom.
Wow.
So please enjoy this next segment, which I am calling Harry Cam. Now, essentially what Harry's doing here is an initial exterior clean on all of the appliances. He is simply just removing the top layer of grease and grime. Again, at this point in the clean, our intention is not to sanitize anything. It is just to get the initial layers of dirt up. Once he's done that on all of the appliances, he's going to pop them to the side where they're nice and safe and then start tackling the worktops. And whilst he continues with that, I just quickly wanted to finish off my last point about accommodation. Understandably, these cleans can be so overwhelming for residents. Even though they know what's happening and they're very much involved in every decision when it comes to their home, it's still a massive change for them. I think any of us would feel quite anxious knowing someone was going through our home. So in terms of accommodation, whatever option is going to put the least amount of stress on the resident is the option that I will always go for. Sometimes that looks like staying with a family member or a friend, and sometimes that looks like staying in a hotel. And whilst we're on the subject of stuff that happens behind the scenes, I need to expose myself a little bit. So this clean actually took place around 7 months ago. This is an old video. Around the time that I started this clean, it was a huge milestone for me. It was one of the first times that I'd been able to afford to travel far from home for a free clean. It was one of the first times that I'd been able to pay for a resident to stay in a hotel during the clean. It was the first time I could afford to hire a specialist waste removal, bring in brand new furnishings, decor and professional equipment, all for one clean. I'd done a few of these things here and there on previous cleans, but this was a big clean for me where I could afford to do all of it just on this property. At the time, being able to afford to do those things felt like an enormous achievement. But now, because of the support from YouTube, those types of things have become way more normal. Traveling across the country, arranging hotels, covering skips, biohazard removal, all of those are regular occurrences that happen on the free cleans now. And I just want to say in advance that growth is entirely because you guys choose to watch and support these videos. The cleans wouldn't be where they currently are today without you. So thank you so much for everything. You're amazing. As the scale of these free cleans has grown, so have the amount of new viewers that have stumbled across these free clean videos and understandably have a lot of questions about how they work. Now, there is one question in particular that keeps popping up and I've always refrained from answering it. A lot of people are very surprised that I don't replace the carpets on these free cleans and they want to know why.
You don't replace the carpet. You don't replace the carpet. That's all I need to hear.
And I have been sitting on this long form video ever since because I didn't want to release the video without explaining the answer. And at the same time, I was worried that if I explained the answer, people wouldn't like what they heard. So I know it's going to irritate quite a few of you, but I don't replace flooring. And at the beginning, that was because I simply couldn't afford to replace flooring. Nowadays, it's more about logistics, capacity, and timing than it is about money. Stick with me. Flooring requires landlord permission, measurements, sourcing materials, arranging fitters, staying a few extra days after the clean is finished so those fitters can come and measure and actually install the carpet or whatever type of flooring it is. It's a whole separate project on top of the free clean project. I'll be so for real with you. By the
that's
end of
valid.
these free
That's valid.
cleans, I'm
That's valid.
tired. Some of these bad boys
Yeah,
last
yeah, yeah,
2
yeah.
weeks.
Yeah,
And
that's
in those
valid.
2 weeks, Harry and I are doing 12
Yeah.
plus hour days
Yeah,
every
she's
day.
right, she's right.
And after hours of physical labor, we're
But,
then
like,
going
you
back to our
necessarily don't need
Airbnb to
she don't
edit.
need
It's
to, but,
exhausting.
like,
The
yeah,
last
yeah, she's
thing
valid.
I want to do once I finish cleaning is to
Yeah.
then extend my hotel stay for even longer
Yeah.
so that I can get painters and flooring experts in, because they can't start the work that they would need to do until the property is clean. So yeah, basically in a nutshell, that's why
Yeah,
I
that's
don't replace carpet. But
no,
I
that's
did just
valid,
want to
that's
say
valid,
for the
that's valid.
record, even though the carpets are not replaced, you have my word that they are deep cleaned and sanitized within an inch of their life. They might be a bit
That's
stained
valid.
and they might not look brand spanking new, but I can promise you they are safe and they are clean. And I will be
Alright.
sharing how I get them super duper
Alright.
clean in a few minutes time. We ended up
Alright.
calling it a day at this point because Harry and I were knackered and I still had
Nah,
that video that was due
if
the
that
next
was the
day.
reason,
Just to
if
update
it-
the
if it
hours
works
spent
like that,
tally,
then
we
it's
spent
valid.
9
She
hours
doesn't really
cleaning
have
on
to,
this
like-
day, then
yeah.
3 hours
But
editing and doing voiceovers once we got
the-
back to
the
the
residents have
Airbnb.
to,
So
like,
that's
change it.
12
He has to change
hours. And if anyone ever wondered what me doing a voiceover looks like, it literally looks like this.
By the time we were finished for the day, we
Jesus.
were done.
Hey
Damn.
guys, it
This
is
is a
day
lot,
3
man.
of the free
I'm
clean
not the
in
one doing the
Scotland.
cleaning, but it's a
going
lot
really
for me
well.
to take in.
The whole
It's
flat is
so
now
much,
completely emptied of everything that we are getting rid of. We've made a start in the kitchen. Harry's been hoovering the floors.
Damn.
We've got a carpet cleaner, a big Karcher boy. So today is going to be trying to get these carpets back to life as much as we can. Bathroom's pretty much almost there, and then we're kind of there. So yeah, I'm excited. I know what you're
Yeah, me
thinking.
too,
Oh
I'm
my god, she's
excited.
not wearing a mask. Well, before we left on day 1, I sprayed bedbug treatment across the entire flat and left it overnight to fully work throughout the space. Before we left on day 2, I pre-treated all of the carpets by fully saturating them in Starkill. The purpose of this was to essentially kill all the
Look at
bacteria,
what's coming out from
pathogens,
this.
spores, etc. Anything
Bro,
that is
look at
harmful
these.
and lingering
Look
in the
at this
carpet
stuff.
had
Look
to
at
go. This
this
stage
thing.
not only helped to neutralize the smell, but it also made the area safe. So when we returned on day 3, we could finally remove our respirators if we wanted to. Full transparency, Harry spent all of day 3 purely working on the carpets. Using Starkill as a pre-treatment the night before was stage 1. For stage 2, we used a product called Single Pass. This product is intense. It literally breaks down and dissolves
That doesn't
all of the
mean you should be doing
nastiness
this
that's
without
hiding
a
in the
mask,
carpets.
though.
I'm talking all the mice poop, all those sugary drinks, the rotten food.
Without a mask
Everything is
still.
at this point being broken down by the cleaning product.
Without
and you
a
could
mask
see
still.
all of that gunk just oozing out of the carpets as soon as it started to become agitated. And between us guys, I can't even put into words how satisfying some of these water dumps were. But once stage 2 was complete, the final 3rd stage was going back in again with the Starkill just to sanitize and deodorize everything one final time. Now, like I said before, after all of this, the carpets were obviously still stained. Nothing is going to get those stains out. The landlord or the tenant will need to replace them at some point. And although they might look ugly, they are clean. I should also probably mention that whilst Harry was focusing on the carpets, I spent day 3 finishing off the initial clean across the home before it was time for the claw clean to come out and the sanitization to begin. And yes, of course, like always, we sanitize multiple times. You only ever see a tiny portion of these free cleans on camera because if I showed you everything, you would just get bored. Usually, at this point in the clean, I'm absolutely buzzing. The closer it gets to the resident coming home, the more excited I become. But I can't lie, the only thing I was feeling as I began to spray my...
Did I just see someone doing this stuff without like any protection? Bro, no matter how clean this stuff is, no matter how clean it is now, bro, please, you have to stay protected to the end. You have to stay protected to the end. I will still be fully suited up entering this house after they have done with the cleaning, because the beginning was
claw clean down was nerves. Because throughout all the months that I'd been speaking to the resident about this clean, he constantly said and did things that made it very obvious he didn't feel he deserved for things to get better. This was a man that wanted a fresh start but had very low self-esteem and was desperately fighting against a voice in his head that was telling him he didn't deserve it. Ultimately, I think I was so nervous because I really didn't know how he would react or if he'd even like the clean.
Did I just hear if you even like the clean? Yeah. Now I'm getting pissed off, bro. Yeah.
Now, like I said earlier, whilst I was doing this clean, I was so proud of it. Now, looking back 7 months later, I feel slightly differently. And I think that's partly the reason why this video is 7 months old and it's only just being shown publicly now.
Yay or nay?
Sorry.
Yeah, alright, yeah.
We're on our last day now. All we have to do is put the flat back together. We went to PM last night at like 8 PM. Had the nicest taxi driver ever.
Wow, but they did really amazingly though. For them to be able to do this much was crazy.
And then drove us back to our Airbnb. How nice is that? And she didn't like charge us through the roof for it. Anyway, Harry's telling me off because he says I talk.
Both of them are actually crazy.
I tried to tell him that's what YouTube's all about. You're meant to talk. I actually think it's kind of mean that you don't want me to talk as much as I want to. I've also just seen, look, on the wall, it's a Highland cow, Harry. I really want to see a Highland cow, but I think we have to go to the Highland. Okay, now I'm watching the footage back. I will admit that I do ramble on quite a lot. So I'm going to do my best to say what I'm about to say in the most concise way. There's no point sugarcoating it or lying. I made the wrong financial decisions on this clean. And in order to explain that properly, I need to give some context. So because of all of the money that I'd made across my social media account, I had a budget of £4,000 for this free clean, which is an insane amount of money, but the cost of cleaning products, waste removal, accommodation, etc. also adds up to be an insane amount of money. So that £4,000 went quite quickly. Now, for health and safety reasons, we had to throw away quite a lot of the residents' belongings. After I paid for all of the essentials I needed to complete this clean, I had £300 left to spend on refurnishing and redecorating the entire flat. With the leftover money, we went to B&M and IKEA and I bought all the basics that I could possibly think of to make this flat feel like home again for the resident. I really poured everything I had at the time into this free clean, and I don't regret that for a second. However, if this clean came to me today, I would have prioritized buying the resident a brand new mattress and bed frame over buying him all of these decor bits. To be honest, I feel guilty and sad that I didn't do it at the time.
You did a lot, bro. Like, you did a lot.
I'm really happy with
this
how
is a
it
lot
turned
on its own.
out. Sofa's looking great. Everything's nice and clean. It smells
Look at this.
fresh. We've got little cutie bits on the table. Nice rug. Fake plants everywhere because let's be honest, you don't want to worry about keeping a plant alive.
Wow.
Kitchen's all nice and clean.
No, these are amazing. These are amazing for it. Though I won't advise anyone, but like
cook
she's
meals again and enjoy his kitchen again. He's got all new bowls, cutlery. He's got a new vacuum / mop that he can use. Pots and pans all nice and shiny. Yeah, everything's clean. This is the bedroom. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It looks very clean, very nice. We went for a green theme. It's very neutral, but obviously he can decorate it however he wants. The walls need repainting, but that's something that the tenant or the landlord can do. But for now, it's clean. There's no rats. There's no maggots. There's no flies. Happy days.
Before I go, I did just want to clarify one last thing. In a perfect world, I would have loved to provide a new bed, mattress and fully furnish the flat. But the budget just simply didn't stretch that far at the time. Because most of the residents' belongings had to be thrown away due...
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, guys. It was beautiful. That's